So now it's time to talk about the Dark Titan himself, Agranok. This 8-point monster is going to try and ruin your game, but I'm sure you guys can handle it. There are 5 different levels of Agranok. The game comes with 5 different cards. Each one is a different level, 1 through 5. 1 is the easiest to fight, 5 is the hardest, and you can choose to either pick the one you want and fight it, or choose at random and put the card into play. Here's the way this works. Agranok doesn't come into play like a regular monster. Instead, he's unlocked by his heralds. Heralds are 2-point monsters that you'll find in the bag. When you draw a herald, the first 3 of them don't go onto the board. Instead, they get placed onto these cards in these little slots, and they serve as keys that unlock Agranok. Each herald, when they're placed, has a special rule you have to handle, a new attack they bring to you, and then, when you get all 3 heralds out, Agranok is then revealed and he enters the game just like a regular monster where you roll the die and you place him on the board. So, once Agranok is on the board, now you have to fight him as a monster. No matter which version of Agranok you're playing, you're going to have to deal with his basic level of skills. Then there's the card you drew that gives you something extra. Agranok's basic ability are pretty terrifying. He's an 8-point monster, which means you actually have to flip him over to finish him off. When you flip him over, every player has to discard a card at random. You've made him that angry. You'll also notice his lowest points only go down to 2. That means you'll have to hit him twice in the same turn to finish him off. A single point of damage is not enough. Agranok's other special abilities are that he takes no damage when he smashes into a castle structure. He can simply knock down your castle all day, and while it will delay him, he takes no damage whatsoever. Even if he's at his full health, doesn't matter. He takes no damage. Also, he's immune to boulders. He's smart enough to get out of the way of those. And if you play a slay card against Agranok, such as Barbarian, Nice Shot, Wizard Quake in the Wizard's Tower expansion, any of those cards that are played, instead of destroying him, do 4 points of damage and are then removed from the game. You won't get to use them again for the remainder of that game. That's the basic abilities of Agranok, but remember we have this card. Once we've brought him into play, we'll flip over the card and we'll see which version of Agranok we're dealing with. In this case, it's level 2. Most levels of Agranok are going to work where after he moves, you'll roll the die and do whatever the card says. Level 2, for instance, means that all monsters in the resulting arc for whatever you rolled will move an additional space. The other thing to watch out for with Agranok is after he's on the board, some levels of him will be triggered by his heralds. There are 5 heralds in the game, so that means the first 3 unlock him. The remaining 2, if they come into play, will serve to trigger Agranok's roll. It all depends on the version of Agranok you draw, so make sure you read the card carefully, and good luck fighting him. He's not going to be easy.